Hey everyone, welcome back to the White Coat Club. I'm Nicole and I have Amanda here with me today. And today we're going to be continuing our essay mini series with today's topic about the personality essays. And we'll kind of break down what those prompts are, but make sure to like and subscribe so you get all of the next great tips in the rest of the essay series and all of our other podcast episodes to come. Hey Amanda.
Hi.
All right, so personality essay is our topic for the day. And then there's tons of different ways the schools ask this and want you to showcase this. And I think today, probably just mostly focusing on some do's and don'ts, because where these essays should probably be more of the easier ones for kids to write, I think they get the most hung up on them
hmm
and kind of struggle. So, what are some of the schools that ask? I guess you can let everybody know what are some of the schools that ask these types of essays and what are the prompts?
Yes. I think the most popular one that's probably came to everybody's mind is Brown's 3 words to describe yourself. That is one. Some schools may ask like what makes you happy or like your top 5. USC has a novel full of these personality essays. So like favorite movie, favorite snack, dream book, dream job, dream like so many of those very fun personality ones that have like nothing to do with academics. Quite a few schools ask these.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so I think the most important thing for that is be real, showcase your personality. We don't want you to take yourself too seriously, really just be true to yourself. So some of them you have a little bit more space. You have like maybe 25 characters or like 100 characters or 25 words. But then again with Brown, 3 words. That's it. No explanation, no nothing.
Mhm.
So I guess what are the number one do's? Or maybe we'll backtrack for a second. What are some of the other examples? So you talked about Brown, some things that they may ask you. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite movie? Your dream job. I've seen one a couple years ago. It was like, if you could be any type of kitchen utensil, what would you be?
Mhm.
Like some are like kind of crazy and random, and then some are just asking like, what's your favorite show or what's your favorite book of all time?
Mhm.
Any others that you have seen?
I think I would say this again. There's one that's coming up that's like name your top 5 and name your top 10. We're not going to give you a theme or a topic. You come up with that yourself. So a lot more autonomy with these personality ones.
Yeah.
That's one of the big ones too.
So what are some like do's that you definitely want to see people to do when they're answering these? And then I guess we'll get into the don'ts after.
Yes, I think we're going to say this today till we're blue in the face. Being yourself. It is easy to read right through if you're not being yourself. Something you could do is just maybe reflect back on your writing. Obviously, there's like why major and those kinds of things. But kind of just reflecting on who you might be as a person might be really good. But staying true to yourself. I say this the schools probably wouldn't be asking you these if they didn't want to see who you are as a human, like obviously beyond an academic product. But using your authentic voice, authentic words, it's okay. We promise.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Nicole?
I think just be cohesive.
hmm
I use this strategy with Brown a lot, where if you're going to tell me that one of your words to describe yourself is creative, and then in all of the other essays, you don't show one single thing that you are creative with, it doesn't make sense. Or if you're curious and there's no curiosity shown in the rest of your application,
hmm
I want it to just kind of align, right? So don't be afraid of being yourself. Like you said, be authentic, but also think about what you're saying in the rest of your application and just make sure you're submitting to them one cohesive person. You're not being contradictory. And I
hmm
guess that kind of like dives into our don'ts is, don't try to be too out of the box to like make yourself kind of seem like someone that you're not. I think a lot of times students try to be like quirky and cool and let me just come up with these crazy words and crazy, things so that way no one else will put it. Um, I don't know if that's really the route to do.
hmm I think a good question to ask yourself, or just kind of like, this is my 3 word thing that I like to say, be so serious. Is this something you genuinely like? Especially when it comes to those favorites, like favorite book and all of that, like, don't say something like McGraw Hill Biology 601. Like, I promise you, we can read right through it. You can also do a gut check as well. If you are kind of noticing that this isn't your favorite thing, or if you're explaining it to somebody, um, it's just don't, like, not like you have to be yourself. I don't know. Um, yeah. Anything else, Nicole? Just, there's so many don'ts,
No,
but
I agree. Like sometimes I read them and I kind of roll my eyes and say, really? Like, is
Mhm.
this really your favorite thing? Or are you just saying it because you feel like it's a good idea? And then I think, unfortunately, social media kind of drives like, oh, well, I saw someone put this. So, like, that's a really great idea. Well, so did thousands of other people.
Yeah.
That's not going to be something that's like unique to you. Just
Mhm.
be honest, be truthful, and almost they're not going to ask you this. And the odds of them asking you why you put this are extremely slim, but almost treat it as if they're going to ask you why, or
Mhm.
like, what's your favorite book? And tell me about it. And then some kids, I think, will say, like, oh, I'm going to put like a childhood book, or I'm going to put this. Like, just put whatever your actual favorite book is. Go from the gut, like you said. Don't try to think too much about it. It shouldn't be something that you put a ton of thought into.
Mhm.
Um, it should just be something that kind of comes naturally. This is my favorite, regardless of whether it's a childhood book, a middle school age book, a book I just read. You don't need to make yourself sound more intellectual. I think there was one year where like everyone wanted to put um like the former first lady's book
Mhm.
on their list. That was their favorite book. It's like, well, was it really? Also, it's going to be everyone's favorite book because that's what everyone thinks should be what they put down. So
Mhm. Yeah.
um avoid trends. I think, if you see it on TikTok or you see it on Reddit, it's
Mhm.
avoid.
Yes.
um and I think another question I get a lot is like, well, what if my favorite TV show or favorite movie is like something that's rated like PG-13, or like maybe more on the rated R like aspect, or like I'm really into like horror movies, like is that appropriate? I think it just depends on your personality and depends on what it is. Like I don't think anything is like really out of bounds to put. I think if you're asking if it's out of bounds, it probably like is, but nothing like I don't think it should be, you know?
Right.
I don't know if I worded that right.
Yeah. I was
I don't
gonna
really think
say,
anything is out of bounds,
yeah.
but there definitely are some things that could be, but
Mhm.
I don't think anything is really out of bounds.
For sure. I think just going back to the gut check, thinking on kind of like a human level, or just pretend like if I were to just ask you right now what your favorite one is, like, don't think, just say it. What is it? That could be a really good method to do. Just like straight up ask yourself and say it out loud. Sometimes doing that actually is like, oh wait, never mind. I actually don't like that. Um, But yeah, going back to the social media thing, I always say this even for like personal statements, log off of social media, like literally block all the things, anything like essay related. I find that very helpful, and it helps you kind of have like a clear sound mind, especially when it comes to the personality essays. But
Yeah. Yeah. And these should not take you forever. And this
mhm,
is not something that you should be going in and changing constantly. Like, oh, I changed my mind. Oh, I changed my mind. Go with your gut.
mhm,
What's your favorite movie? Pause, reflect. Like it just needs to be answered in 10 seconds, and then write it down. And then that's what it is. Like, kind of stick with it. I feel like this is something that a lot of kids are like, what if I put this instead? And it's like, well, they're not going to think anything really differently of you. They just want to know what it is. It's not like ultimately used for like your final judgment,
right.
you know? Um, so don't sweat the small stuff. They're small prompts. I think they're just kind of meant to shake up the applications, put a little bit more of a personality to the application, and don't worry too much about it.
Mhm. I feel like these questions, like reframing it from like, oh my gosh, these are so hard versus like, oh my gosh, what a relief. Just kind of seeing that
Exactly.
these as more like relief questions that you can actually like talk about yourself. Obviously, you're working hard, being specific in why major, why school, potentially reframing these as more like relief questions, relaxing questions. But yeah.
Yeah. And you should never be saying, well, what if I put this as my
Hmm.
favorite XYZ? Like, if you have to prompt it that way, then that's not really your favorite one.
Hmm.
In my opinion, that's not really your favorite. If you're saying, well, what if I put, what is it? Put it down. Done.
Hmm.
Yeah, this should be a relief. This should be like the fun part. This
Yes.
should not stress anybody out.
Yes.
Anything else for the personality prompt?
Yeah, I'll say like if you are kind of doing that what if, I do think in my opinion, it's okay to maybe get like a very trusted source who can, I'll say it like read right through you. Um just kind
Mm-hmm.
of seeing like be so serious. Is this something you're thinking about? Um and if you are still kind of struggling, like for me, I know for the movie one, I was a film major and I had to write down like 10 and then I had to just do a quick gut check. If you need to write down a few things, the right
Yeah.
one will come your way. I promise. Read it a million times so you're blue in the face. Your answer will be there. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, just some strategies.
Yeah. And like if you're saying, well, I really love these two, like which one should I put? Well, go with what you feel. I always say too, some of these, like ask your parents, ask your
Mhm.
siblings, like, what was our favorite movie growing up? I'm like trying to remember. And, what would you say my favorite song is? And they know you. Like, I think it's almost easier to answer this question about other people versus yourself. It is hard sometimes. But like Amanda said, write a couple things down and then, like I said, review it over, go with your gut.
Yes.
Yeah. But go with your gut. Be so serious. I love that.
Mhm.
Be so serious. Is this really your favorite thing, or are you just trying to be something that is not really the truth?
Mhm.
Yeah. Similar to all of our other, feedback for these personality or in all these essay series is be specific, really work through it, be true to yourself. But yeah. Well, thanks again for listening. Join us next time for another part of our essay series, and we'll see you then.